Hi guys, welcome to your channel. This is Starseed Revolution 1111. Vanakkam. This is Vinoth here. This is your channel wherein I talk about different topics ranging from transformation, spirituality, about relationship, about sexuality, and several different topics that I would be discussing about. And in that series, I first finished a series where I talked about transformation, and those videos are there. If you're really interested, you could take a look at my playlist on the transformation series. So that's like few tips that I've given you from a personal experience of going through a spiritual awakening and a transformation journey in my life, and which I'm still going through. So I'm just trying to give some basic inputs for all of anyone who's really interested in kind of changing their lives, or needing some kind of change in their life. They can go through those videos to get some inputs, so that might be useful. Now I thought of the next topic I wanted to talk about, which is close to my heart, and pretty much wanted to tell my story out there. It was about being a gay man, and what are the challenges, how did it, the story about me, because something which is a major part of me, which I haven't really talked about to many people, and I just want the story to be told out there, so that this goes out and reaches out to people who are still in a state where they are in the closet, or still coming to terms with their sexuality, or having difficulty facing their difficulties in their own life. Being gay, or bisexual, or lesbian, or transsexual, whatever it is. So so I just wanted to put it out there, and kind of give them some kind of motivation, or just give them the courage that they can live the life in their own truth, and that is what I wanted to achieve out of this series of videos. So I hope this helps all of them, and not only for the gay people, and also for the straight people, to kind of understand and accept people who are who have who are just different, who are there to kind of who are really going to make a difference by accepting each other, is what I wanted to also request through this video. So I don't want only LGBTQ people to take a look at this, but I want all straight people also to have a look at these videos and understand where and how our lives could, how difficult our life could be for us, and accept people like, as they are, is something that I request all of you. So with that request, I wanted to get into this video. So if you're new to this channel, please do subscribe if you feel that you're getting good information, and if you feel there is some value that is being added to your life, and I'll be very happy and glad that you are getting some kind of a support from me, and that kind of motivation and kind of information, or kind of either enlightens you in certain areas of which you may not be aware of. So please do subscribe, share, and like and comment on these videos, so that it goes and reaches out to people who may be in need of such videos, to such kind of encouragement. So thank you. And so then, to start off this video, I wanted to first talk about my early experience of how did I get to know about being like, how was I even understand what was gay sexuality and things. So how did I come to terms with it, is something which I wanted to discuss in this video. So basically, the when I was in my teenage around a very I mean, at the age of 12, 13 or 14 years, I believe I kind of had this and that's when you're kind of developing your you just you're in adolescent age, right? So your hormones and all things are like I mean, you become very hyper and all these things. So that's where you and generally all your the sexuality kicks in, like your attraction towards the opposite sex, or you develop what your things are basically, right? Your physiological changes and psychological changes happen. And I'm not an expert, but I'm just telling you that whatever I understand from my own experience. So at that age, I kind of knew when I was young, I could understand there was I was attracted at a certain age, and it was a specific time period where I suddenly realized that I kind of was attracted to one of my neighbor, and it was like kind of first time experience for me to kind of feel that way. And I didn't know from where how I even started feeling that way, because yeah, because I've lived in the same place with the same neighbors and same person around for from my birth till so many years, and I never had any kind of that kind of a thought before, of like an attraction towards like I hope you all know what I mean. So, but then suddenly, all of a sudden, it started. The thought started coming into my mind, and I mean, to be very clear, I had no influence of TV or no magazines, nothing. There's no like books or anything that I read and got any influence, or anything for that matter. There was no influence, as you know, like those days when there was rarely TV. We had TV. I'm not so sure whether we had a black and white TV. I think so. Small. It was very rare to have TVs those days, and that I mean, with that kind of setup is where I'm talking about how I started getting this kind of thoughts or the attraction towards the same sex. Okay. And so because I want to make sure that there was nothing that gave me this I had no awareness of what it is to be having an attraction towards opposite sex or same sex or whatever it is. Like, I had no idea about that. I was pretty young in my own ways, right? So I was like very innocent, and to tell the fact, so, and also very conservative family, and so I was not exposed to anything that was sexual or anything for that matter. So but then it automatically just in me, this the thought of suddenly getting attracted to the same sex was, and that is where it started off. Okay. And even till today I still wonder how did that all of a sudden happen. And that was just a thought which suddenly started coming in, and I couldn't stop it. Like, it was just in me, or it was just me, part of me which started developing. And I was trying to, like, I didn't give much of like what to say, like, attention to that. But then I still had, when you're in your sitting on your own, or when you come across that particular person, you have this butterflies in your stomach, and you had all that feeling, but you didn't know what it was. But you felt it was nice. It was quite a thrilling thing to see, and you start looking at them for no reason, and it was like kind of infatuation, I would say. And I didn't really realize anything specific, but then I had this feeling which I couldn't even describe what it was. And I mean, I had no knowledge about what even sex means or anything for that matter. So yeah, and then that's where but I was so much attracted to this person for no reason. I was just attracted, and I've been seeing him for like from my birth. He was there next to, he was a neighbor in the same, he lives in the same lane and things. But then so all of a sudden, this feeling started developing, and I just kind of couldn't sometimes couldn't resist myself, like from looking at him, or whenever he comes I just look at him. It was that kind of mode I was. So that's where that's the point where my what to say, my sexuality developed, I would say. And it was never influenced with anybody telling anything about gay sex or gay sexuality, or anything of that matter. I've never seen anything. I haven't even watched any porn by the time, for that matter. I haven't seen anything for that matter. And only thing I knew was, like, I knew that in the movies, if it comes, like in India, they used to I mean, the main hero and I mean, the actor and actress would kiss. There would be a song and a kiss scene would be there. So that is the level I knew about it. But apart from that, I had no clue what anything else about. Okay, so that is the level I was. But then I had this kind of sudden, like, feeling, and things were there, and I had no idea how to, like, explain that. So this is how it was. And so I hope you appreciate that the fact that I was not influenced by anything, anybody, or anything that I've seen, or anything. I have no idea about anything. So but then this developed on its own. Okay. And so that's where so I just kind of went along with it. And at one point of time, I had a one-to-one encounter with him, and it turned out to be quite scary, but yet it was just totally kind of my, what to say, it all came to reality. And it was just it was beyond my thing, actually, to uh, kind of what to say, like, basically contemplate all those things, what went on with that one moment when I had kind of expressed that. And it was on my own. I kind of expressed that to him, and it was quite an experience, to say. I just couldn't believe, I cannot forget that. And it was quite at the moment, I still can't forget. But then it is just the feeling of something which I just can't even today. I can't believe I'm telling this, but then it's something which I wanted to share. And yeah, it was just it was one of the incident which happened. And I came face to face, encountering what it is to be having a sexual encounter. Okay. And then it happened with the same person. So that was my first incident that happened. And it was just quite with the excitement and the fear of it. It was just like all together. It was like it was just beyond belief, actually. And it was just one thing and I really got frightened with all the things. And I just came out of it. And yes, then that's it. Once you're kind of exposed to something of that nature, you start to crave for some experience. You want to explore more. You want to, like, the mind starts, like, you kind of just starts, like, your mind starts, like, looking forward for some more, the fantasy of it, or the thrill of it, or something of that nature. You want to have it again. Then that's what I feel happened to me. And then but I didn't act upon it after that one instant where I had. And but then it just brought something out of me, which was my sexuality was like the bulb in me lit, actually, that time only, I think so. And then I was pretty young at that age, and I had no idea what I wouldn't say that yeah, it is it's something that happened. And after that, I just kind of kept to myself. And because I was feeling so guilty at one side of it, and I felt like I did something wrong. And I was like, I was not able to really just come to terms with it afterwards. And it was not that anything major, but then it was just like an encounter which was quite an thing. and even that small incident of whatever happened was was making me one side making me feel excited, the other side making me making me feel very guilty, and I couldn't express that to anyone, or could talk about that to anyone, because we don't talk about anything about sex or anything for that matter in front of parents, or to parents or friends even for that matter. We don't talk too much about it, and so I kept it to myself. And with that, it kind of it just after that I didn't have much of an encounter or anything. I was very scared and I was keeping to myself until I kind of moved to another place where for again this again started where I moved, and my neighbor, again a new neighbor was there, and again that is the point my real thing started, and it was quite I took it to the, I mean, like it all like came to, yeah. I mean, I was exposed to certain situations which I wasn't I had no clue that I would be encountering such situations. So but then that with that person is where I explored a little bit more about what was it all about, sexuality and things, all different things about it. And yes, in fact, it was all like I just can't they were all straight, in sense they were straight and they were married, or also they were married, and I had no idea. I don't know whether they were really bisexual or gay or straight. I have no clue, but I haven't met them afterwards. But then the second person was I explored a little bit more, and at that time only, so by then I kind of got a little bit more into like understanding of, okay, there's something I was tempted to this same sex, was something within me, but it was a secret, dark secret for me. Actually, I felt guilty about it, but at the same time, when I was alone, I'm feeling happy to do anything. I mean, anything means like certain things I wanted to explore more and more. And with that, it started happening that I started developing. So that is where I really didn't know that it was right or wrong, or I don't know, but basically having any sexual encounter itself was for me, I was feeling very bad, because normally they're not allowed in our country until you're married, and after your marriage only you're allowed to have any kind of thing, is what I understand. So I understood. So but then I was trying to do something before things that added to my guilty feeling, and with that I was like starting to feel, one side I was hating myself for being putting myself in certain positions, certain places where I would think I could have avoided, or why did it happen to me? Why did it happen? And I couldn't understand. And then at the same time, when, because I am always with the boys, right? So in my school also, I was like, you don't, they don't allow us to speak to girls that easily, or not, they don't allow it, is not it's not like that, but we tend to not talk too much to girls, because we were always like in the same class, or we would be separated. Girls will be sitting one side, boys will be sitting on the other side, and it is being and those days they been very few people have like dating, or even for that matter have any talk about love and stuff like that. Because if at all there's someone proposes to any girl, it will be a talk of the town kind of a thing. So it'll be, the whole school will get to know, or something of that kind. It'll happen. So very rarely you find anybody dating anyone, or just openly, or anything, for that matter. As far as I understood, or I have seen, not there were not there was nobody like that. And so that was one side. So I was okay with that. But then I had my started so in that case I was not pressurized to have any girlfriend, or I didn't see any of my friends going talking to girls or having dating them or having any sexual encounters with them, or nobody talks about it or anything. So but then I started developing towards my one of my close friends. I started having this feelings towards it was he was a good close friend, but I kind of developed a bit more, right? Like when you're in teenage, you fall in love with if you were straight, you fall in love with a girl, but or vice versa. If you anyways, so you're a girl, you fall in love with a boy, whatever. I'm just talking in my from my point of view. So that being said, I was like, okay, let's. But then I fell in love with my close friend. And he didn't know that. He was thinking I was a very close friend of him. I liked him a lot, and I used to do many things exactly to make. I mean, I was so happy to be around him. He was sitting next to me all the time, and like we used to be best friends. And in school whole day, like I love going to school because of him actually. And that was like final 2 years of my school. I enjoyed being with him, and it was like for me, it was. Though I didn't like my schooling before, from the first level 1 to level 10, or first standard to 10th standard, that's what we say in India. So after that, the next 2 years was just wonderful, because he was there, and I kind of developed this interest, and it just became. I wanted to do many things to impress him, and I was a good student as well. Like I studied well, and I was very innocent, and in a way, yeah. To outside world, I was very innocent and very. I mean, I was kind and very lovable guy actually. And but then right, he was liking me in the same, not in the same level as I was infatuated and things. But then it was more of. As a friend, he was more interested, and I used to go to his house and be friendly to. I mean, just study together, and help him in his studies. And so I was like that. I was so keen to help him out anywhere or anything possible. So in that level, I developed my. That was my first love, I would say. So, but he didn't know it was all one-sided love. So I was so happy till the point he started talking about girls, and when he in fact went and proposed a girl, I believe. I didn't really want to know that, but for me, I was so infatuated with him that and very possessive about him, but I couldn't tell it out to him, and it was something which I feel I laugh today about. But then, that time it was heartbreaking actually to see him going and talking to the girls, actually going and talking to girls. So so I was like in a way feeling sad that I mean, he was talking, he was going behind a girl, and I was like feeling left out. So yeah, that was my first experience of love. That was one-sided love actually. So as I what I wanted to say was like, yeah, I started developing these feelings, and one side I had encounters of having what it is to be having a gay sexual encounters I've had, and that made me feel more guilty one side. The other side, I was feeling happy, and it was like mixed emotions. I don't know whether what was I doing, whether I'm doing the right thing, or should I think about girls, or then the whole confusion started. Like I wasn't, but there was no pressure to date a girl or anything. So there was. It was fine, but seeing him going behind a girl and thinking about a girl, I made me feel like one side the heartbreak, and the other side was like, okay, maybe something oh, something is different here. Why am I not feeling that way towards any girl? Was started to coming to my mind actually, and then that's where I started feeling even more guilty about what was I doing, and I was confused at that time. I was not sure what to do, whom to talk to, because even your best friend is what you had. You can talk anything, but then even because you already fallen in love with them, and you can't talk about this to anybody else. Like I haven't seen anyone talking about the same sex or anything that matter. So I kept it within myself, and I used to have lots of days I used to pray, and I used to say that I shouldn't I mean, let me get like into a normal mode or something of that matter. And I used to cry, and I used to think, okay, this will go off, this will something, we are just temporarily having some things. And because I was so much of like a mental torture actually went through, and that I had to concentrate on my studies actually. In this, that's something which really impacted my results into a certain level, because this was something which I was coming to terms with, and I couldn't tell anybody, and I was having this mental pressure of whether I'm good, bad, or what am I doing? I'm doing something which I'm against what something that, right, God will punish me or something of that nature. I started thinking, and I used to like literally cry, and just think or hope that one day I used to pray so hard, so much, that I would say, make me normal and things like that, like. But I had no exposure to anything saying that it is wrong or right or anything. Even it was just inside me. I felt guilty because I felt I was going beyond my age, whatever I was, and I was exploring things, and I've become a bad person or something like that. So that made me more guilty. And on top of this, to see him, to have this heartbreak, and all these things were like emotionally. And in a teenage, everything is like elevated to max, as if your whole life is gone or something of that kind. And I kind of struggled a lot during that phase of my life, and I had to keep everything inside me, and, suppress all those feelings and all those emotions, everything. I started suppressing it, and I just kind of started thinking as if I'm two person. Actually, I just started like wearing a mask at that age itself. I started to think, okay, the one who is showing outside to the world is the one where I act. I started to think, okay, build a mask, where build a personality where the one who's dealing all sexuality about having any encounters sexually is another person, and the one who is there in front of everybody around the world is this another person. And I usually feel, okay, that is someone different. So that is someone different. I used to think like that. I used to have this dual personality, in the sense like I built it like that. I felt like, okay, that is not me. That is not me. Though I encounter some certain things, and because of your teenage, and you kind of do things without thinking twice, or you encounter that kind of and it also happened that I came across many instances that without me being I mean, going in search of it, it just happens in out of the blue. It's something happens, and I encounter I have a sexual encounter with someone. And those days you never had, even phone was not there, even you don't. So there was several different ways of how people communicated, and I kind of developed my gaydar, they say, the that is the way I developed my skills actually, to find out who, like how to kind of meet people, or me not meet actually. It is like all of a sudden happens any place, anytime, so we never know. And so that's how I was living, and that is when I started developing this I was wearing a mask completely. And outside, I was so innocent to all. My parents had no clue about it. My friends had no clue about it, and I was exploring on the other side, very randomly, very promiscuous. I was, and I used to be very secretive in all these things. I was keeping it as a secret that nobody can find it out. So that is how I was dealing. Though I sometimes when I'm alone, I feel so bad about myself, and because people put me in a thing saying he's such a wonderful guy, he's like he's the best, he's everywhere. I was like that, but I felt inside I was not really worthy of that, because thinking about the other side, like I was, oh, I'm doing all these nonsense things. I was like, oh, how do I even bring this about? If they know, anybody knows, then what would happen to me? And this is how I started like making myself unworthy of anything. Okay, that is how it developed. And I didn't love myself. I hated myself so much that I cannot believe how much I hated myself. But then one side I liked it, one side I hated, and I had no idea about, like, I was not Christian or anything for that matter. I had no one telling me being wrong and being gay is wrong or anything. Nothing talked about gay sex itself. So first of all, I never knew, is it a natural thing people do, or is it only me doing all these things? I wasn't sure. So with that that kind of background, started my that is how my sexuality, gay sexuality, developed, and so basically what I wanted to tell here is that I would never accept the fact that it is something that we learn, or we have a choice. By choice I choose to be gay or something. That is the first thing. I wanted to break that argument completely, because I was born in a a small town where nobody was talks about sex for that matter. Nobody, even TV talks it. Having TV was a big deal, and having on top of that the channels that come also is very rarely we get to see something, even kiss for that matter. Only in the movies we see that, and that too sometimes parents will ask us to close our eyes. So that is so now the argument of whether you have a choice of being gay or no, being straight. Did you choose to be gay? If someone asks me that question, you very well can judge from what I've told, my instance, and from the circumstances, the environment I was in. And I was in a very conservative family where we don't we are not open to like love marriage, that and this. We were all orthodox in terms of like, and quite spiritual, and nobody talks about sex or love marriage or anything. These are all like bad words to be used. Even talking to a girl, I spoke to a girl, I cannot tell anyone that I spoke to a girl in my class, like this happened. No, that is not accepted at all. So that level of that is the society I was in. And I have no access to any magazines or even any kind of sexual content in any place or anything. There nothing. So it was me on my own. I had to. It came. I mean, it developed on its own, because so that's where I say that it is never because of the environment I am, or because of the family, or because of society, or anything for that matter, influence through social media or anything, or TV or television, or films, or any kind of. There was no influence at all, or even for that matter, none of my friends were all was gay. None of them till today I don't know they were gay or anything. So this is my first thing which I wanted to kind of at least break that myth of people even till today think that some choose to be gay. So no, I mean, at least from my point of view, if I wanted, I would have been perfect straight guy. I would have initially, if at that point of time, I would have chosen to be straight, because of the struggle that I had to go through, because I'm all alone, and how much of a hate I had on myself. I feel so. So I mean, I feel sad for myself to go through that, and it impacted me so much because that kind of so much of emotions stored in you, that negativity inside you, and in on top of that, the pressure to be straight in front of everybody, and with all that pressure, I used to study also. I had to study, I had to perform everything. So the think about the pressure that I had to go through, and everybody, I want everybody to understand that the difficulty of anybody who's trying to come to terms with their sexuality. At least I feel like this video should help them out to feel liberated. If you feel like, oh God, I'm having this, I cannot talk to anybody, is this right or wrong? If someone watches this video and if you're going through that question, feel free. Your life will be so good, amazing afterwards, and there's nothing to be afraid of anything at this point of time, I'm telling you. But because now at least the world is open, at least the country is at least I had no idea about the sorry God. Yes. Okay, sorry, there was a bit of trouble with my camera, so yeah, so I just wanted to kind of reiterate the point that if anybody in your family, like it can be your, you can be your children, like I mean your son or a daughter, or it can be your brother, sister, or it can be your friend, anyone that matter. If anybody is struggling through this phase, please try and understand that we don't have a choice. It is not by, if you're not given a choice, like okay, now I mean, if you think, did you have a choice to be a straight? Were you given an option to be gay? I would ask you that question. Did you choose to be straight rather than being choosing to be straight, gay or lesbian, or bisexual, whatever it is? It is the question I would ask all of them. And I was not given an option or anything for that matter. It is by nature. By nature, we are born, and you develop into that, and you can't just deny that, and you have to grow naturally into it, and that is what your truth is. And there's everybody is born with their uniqueness, and being gay is unique, and in a different way. So I want all of you to understand that, and at least let others live their life and live their truth, because it is high time that we, at least in my country, where we are still suppressed in many ways, that not many know about this, don't talk about this topic at all that much. I wanted to reach out to those people, if possible, to feel proud of yourself. And yes, it took me a long time to come to terms with it, but I feel now it is, now we are in the day and age where we have so much of information, social media, and we have access to everything. All the information is out there. You can get anything, all the information, and just feel so you are in day and age not to be suppressed anymore, and to be proud of who you are. And there's nothing wrong in being gay, and you can achieve what you want. There's nothing that in your life you just need to be straight, and then get married, and then have a kid, and then I mean work, and then that's all. And what else? Then you earn money, and then what you do, that's it, right? That's all is your life. So same thing for people like you. You need not have kids. If you want, you can adopt kids. You can have kids, whatever you want. You can achieve anything. And but then the key thing is whether you are doing good to the society, what you're giving back to the society. Are you a good person? Are you a kind person? That is what you all have to look at, when not looking at a person, whether he's gay or straight or whatever it is. Doesn't matter, as long as he's kind, compassionate, and I mean, he or she helps the society, and they are doing good to the good to each other. That is what matters, and whatever personally they do then doesn't matter to anybody. And you can live a meaningful life, is what I wanted to say. There's nothing that if you're gay means there's no meaning in life, or you can't have anything in life. And I wanted to talk about those things in the next set of videos, where you're talking about having friendship, and how friends, how what kind of friends I had, and how how things developed in my life, and where I am today, now how confident I am in my sexuality, and I am so proud of myself, and I am so proud to be gay. Actually, proud means like there's nothing that I'm feeling. Yeah, I've done great thing. It's just that I feel comfortable to be in my own skin and in my own body, and to show that yes, I am gay, and I like I like same sex. That's it. That's about it. There's nothing apart from that. I'm much more better than all the straight men put together. I can do much more good things than the people I've met. I'm here as a I can challenge that I can be better than what a straight man can be, and now how much I can help each other is what the level of what I bring to the table, the value that I bring to the table. It doesn't matter my private life, how my private life is, and whatever it is, but what I bring out to the society is what matters. So that's something that all of you should understand and look at each other, value each other. Don't look at whether he's in terms of the sexuality is nothing to do, or even gender for that matter. Don't look at them. Look at what they bring to the table, whether they could do good, or they are doing not so good things. So that's how you have to look at it. And if you can help them, support them, make them feel comfortable around you, and that is what I would request all of you, to make them feel comfortable. And if you're watching this TV or watching this video, and if you're feeling that if you're going through that phase, just feel free to discuss with your colleagues, and see if they can, or you can approach me in case if you have anything that kind of you want to talk and discuss and find, and you want someone to help you out to get to terms with your sexuality, and to how to come out to your parents and all those things. And I'll talk about my coming out story next in my next video. But then just feel I wanted to give out this positive message, and also to request a positive message of saying that be proud of being gay, or any other kind of sexuality. These days there are so many things, everything, whatever feels right in your heart, just be that person. Be true to yourself, not true to anybody else. Just because someone expects you to be like this, you need not be. You be your true authentic self. That is what is expected. So once you operate from that point, there's nothing that would, once you have that strong foundation of who you are, and you stand in your truth, nobody can affect you in any ways. They can throw things at you and talk anything about you, but that will not affect you, because you are living your truth. And once you know you're living your truth, there's nothing that greater than that. Okay, so with that is what the message I wanted to send out in this first video. And I wanted others, I'm requesting all others, like to accept, and it's high time in the society we go past this sexuality, he's gay, or he was it's a big deal to come out. You start understanding that a kid can go into becoming a gay, lesbian. Be expectant. I mean, just don't get surprised that one day your daughter or son comes in and says that they like this. Or try and understand and see how they behave. You might have an understanding, and if you feel that they're going through the difficult times, talk to them, have an open discussion, and see if you can open up to them if they are willing to talk to you about it or anything. Be a parent of that kind. Be a friend of that nature, with whom they can talk personal things, because that would reduce most of their mental stress and pressure that unnecessarily they go through alone. Okay, so I wanted to highlight this, because I still feel there are a lot many youngsters, and yeah, I mean young adults, and also in their middle age men, who are struggling with their sexuality and living a dual life. To live an authentic life, that is more than enough. Not to live for someone else, live for yourself. This is one single life. I mean, life, it's only once you live, so why live a lie rather than live your truth? And that's what God, or there's a source who has created you to be, and there's nothing wrong in his creation. So everybody is equal in his eyes. So think about it, and I hope you get inspired, and to always stand by your truth. It might be little difficult if you're in a hostile condition, or you're being bullied or anything, please reach out to organizations. There are organizations that help you. Call them, talk to them, get some help. And I'm here definitely for you people who want to approach me. If you feel like you want to talk something or you want some kind of advice, I will definitely. I'm open up to opening. I'm open to that, and do email me if you feel like. And later on, I'll drop, once I have a proper setup. I'll drop my phone numbers and helpline like that later on when I'm completely set up my things. So if you feel like talking to someone, getting some advice, please do. Please do let me know. My email ID is will be there down in my description box. So write an email, and definitely I'll take a look. I will look into it and help you out to my level best. Yeah. So that is that is the message which I wanted to pass on in this video. So hopefully all of you kind of understand where I'm coming from in terms of dealing with gay sexuality, and I hope and respect all of hope that all of you respect all of us equally, and there's nothing different from being straight or any other you have any other or being straight or being gay or lesbian or any other form of sexuality you are in. So that's the message I wanted to pass on this video. So hope it gave you some insight into how being gay how it is to be a gay. And this is my beginning. I just wanted to start, and I have some series of videos which I wanted to publish out there. So please do watch my next set of videos, and if you want to kind of educate yourself in that area and help people, or even for that matter, this is kind of a therapy for me as well. So I'm doing this to kind of fully just feel liberated, and it is helping me in several ways. And I hope that this video finds its way to the people who are in need of it. So yeah, so that with that I would like to end this video, and thanks for watching. If you're still watching till now, I'm so pleased, so happy that you had the time to listen to me and watch me, and I truly thankful for that. And I hope you continue to watch my videos, and please do subscribe and grow this channel. And I just want to reach out to people as much as possible and talk about different topics which are always hidden, neglected, or not focused, because it is important that we kind of bring light into such topics, and to show that this world is like diverse, and it is important to have a diverse environment. Okay, so and it's nothing wrong being gay or lesbian or anything as you wish, and being true to you is what matters. So thanks for listening, and see you in the next video. Thank you.